Hi, and welcome to This Week in Baltimore Eating with Richard Gorelick. Join us here every Thursday at 12:30 to talk about everything food-related in Baltimore. I am Amanda. That is the eponymously named Richard Gorelick.
Mm-hmm. I just spit out a mint.
You did.
I just spit out a Bubby mint.
I made you. I exercised my... It's very rare for me to exercise a demand like that.
Yeah.
Would you say it's rare?
Yeah, I think it's pretty rare. But yeah, I was biting on that mint.
I needed it to go.
It's a loud mint.
So, with a shout out to the Pet Shop Boys, where have you been? Who have you seen? You didn't phone when you said you would.
Good one.
Thank you.
I went to Brewer's Art. That's my Monday night place.
From now on? Like forever?
It
For
used
always?
to be, and then we left it for a while and, went to other places, and we didn't go anyplace at all on Monday nights. But now we're back to Brewer's Art on Monday nights.
I'm okay with that. I think you said something about how we take it for granted. I
We
don't
do.
feel that way.
I do. I feel like, well, how am I to gauge whether we take something for granted? But Brewer's Art's pretty special. I mean, if you went to another city and your friends took you to a place like the Brewer's Art, you'd be like, man, I wish I had a place like the Brewer's Art where I live. But we do. We have a place like the Brewer's Art.
We have the Brewer's Art.
And think about just how expensive that architecture is. Just that building.
It's a gorgeous building, and that window front is
Man,
gorgeous.
It's really so gorgeous. And like if you couldn't really afford to operate a restaurant like that in New York City, maybe, or even Philadelphia.
Brooklyn back in the day,
Brooklyn
maybe.
back in the day, but then they've kept it up really, really well over what, 2 decades now? Brewer's Art's been
You're
around a
right.
long
It's
time.
been there, and you don't. You're right. We take it for granted in that we don't go, oh, we totally need to go to Brewer's Art right now. We just go, oh, there's Brewer's Art. We could do that.
I'd forgotten how special it is, and the menu has evolved over the years. Now we got mussels, mussel Mondays.
Love me some mussels.
I got a big, but the bowl was too big. I got too big of a bowl.
No, there's no such thing as a too big a bowl
This
of
is
mussels.
too big because the mussels on top.
Does it have baguette with it?
Yeah, I had to work through a layer of mussels that were not in the sauce.
What do you mean you had to work through it? Just dip them.
I couldn't get.
You couldn't get down there?
Right.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
They
There were
didn't.
too
They
many.
undersauced then, I feel like. It should
No,
all
the
have been
bowl
in there.
was just, well, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, I get
That
it.
was-
I get
that's
it.
what I'm
I
saying.
hear you. I need to know. So there's basically like 3 different areas at Brewer's Art, right?
Yeah.
You look at the bar, the dining room, and then the basement, downstairs, Rathskeller, whatever you want to call that.
Right.
What do you prefer?
Downstairs, but early. We get there really when it opens, or now we do. Get there when it opens, and we love the Monday night bartenders there. We've been knowing them for about 10 or 15 years. A long time. We've been knowing them for a long time, and we feel really welcome there and well treated. And none of us drink as much as we used to anymore.
Yeah, no kidding. Tell it.
And especially Brewer's Art beers. They'll just knock you out.
I can't drink those. Resurrection? Forget
Yeah.
about it. I can have like 2 sips and I'm on my butt. Like those are too high alcohol.
We discover the Brewer's Art.
roughness
Even
for
the
me.
Rathskeller downstairs, or that basement space, has evolved over the years. It's a little bit brighter than it used to be.
It used to be where you went if you didn't want to be seen or you
Yeah.
wanted to canoodle or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but there's news about Brewer's Art.
Right. Turns out the landlord of the Brewer's Art, the person who is the landlord of that building
In Mount Vernon.
in Mount Vernon, wants to open a version of the Brewer's Art in Howard County.
Interesting.
And it's a little bit not accurate to say Brewer's Art is opening a second location, because that implies that the people that run the Brewer's Art are themselves opening a second location. What the fact is that someone who's tangentially involved with the Brewer's Art has asked them if he can open up another place called the Brewer's Art Pub, and there will be some overlapping recipes, but he doesn't. This landlord guy doesn't want the same menu or the same look or the same format exactly, because he's smart. It's Howard County. What works in downtown Baltimore won't work exactly.
But they'll still have the Brewer's Art beers.
Yes,
Okay.
all the Brewers Art beers.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's interesting to check that out. And also, like, where else do you go for mussels? Like, are you just doing
mentioned
theirs now?
Bertha's. Bertha's, when Bertha's was Eat Bertha's Mussels
I
back in the
love
days,
Bertha's.
70s, the 80s, There really was the only place in Baltimore that served mussels. It was kind of a unique thing.
Well, what was great that I always loved is you could get all the sauces.
Yeah.
Right? You could have a variety of sauces. You know how I like to mix things up all the time. So you could have, caper, you could have white wine, garlic. I think there was like a tomato-based one.
I'll tell you, the last time I was there, it was a while ago, and it felt kind of
Not as
microwavey.
great.
Yeah.
That's disturbing because you want your mussels to be really amazing.
Yeah.
There were a couple times when I went and they were too tiny. And I was like, yeah, this is not a good mussel
Bertha's
time.
is pretty special, though, so I don't want to say bad
Yeah,
things
don't
about
take
them,
that
but
for granted either. And
No.
also, and like if you're listening, tell us where you go for mussels and what you think about a Brewer's Art in Howard County.
By the time I got to the sauce, it was great.
Did you use all the bread to sop up the sauce?
We kept ordering more bread. I ate a lot of bread that
Oh, you really? And they brought you more?
Mm-hmm.
That's unusual for you to
Because it was
have
served,
more bread.
Yeah, well, it was served with sort of toasted baguette. But
Not
then
enough.
The option was what they call dining room bread. Hey, do you want some dining
Yes.
room bread? And I said yes.
I would prefer it with the dining room
Then I
bread.
would refer to it as DR bread. Can I get some of that DR bread? And not even they call it that, but I call it that. I want some DR bread. And never told you about my trip
You
to
never
the
told
pepper
me.
mill.
I saw the pictures and I gotta say, not loving it.
Well, I posted a photograph of the shad and the shad roe, and many people pointed out, or several people pointed out, that it was just on February 14th too early for shad roe. Shad roe maybe now, but shad roe depends on the warming of the waters. So it starts being available in the Carolinas or Florida, and now it'll be sort of available soon here. But even so, they thought it was too early. And Jerry Edwards, the caterer, asked this question. He said, "It seems too early. Tell me this, Richard. Did it pop? Did the shad roe pop?" And I thought, that's a really good way of describing it.
Are they supposed to burst like a little, like
Yeah.
the sushi rolls do?
And pop, I like pop, and it didn't. It just didn't.
Ew. I don't think I'm drawn. Like, you're not selling shad roe for me. And I know you went to the place that would be a good place to go for it. But even when I saw your picture, there was like nothing really appealing or appetizing about
We had
it.
such a good time.
I
The
know.
bar
At what time did you get there?
At 4:30, man, it was so many people there, and there was a barbershop quartet singing "Happy Birthday" to a nonagenarian, and we
Gotta
couldn't figure
love
that out
place.
at all. And
You have to love it
my
there.
buddy Mike and I were like, "Wow, it's really so crowded." And on the way out, we asked, "Is it always so crowded here at 4:30 at 5 o'clock?" And they
Yes.
said, "It's Valentine's Day. It is Valentine's Day." They were exhausted at 5 o'clock.
That's hilarious.
But
But
I love the barbershop
Yeah.
quartet. Had been hired, I think, to sing just Valentine's.
were they in matching outfits?
And I know one of them. I thought he looks familiar.
Of course you do. So Glenn and I, my buddy Glenn over here, off camera, we popped over to Blue Pit because we had a little bit of a meeting.
Blue Pit, it's so you can
But
walk
like,
there.
yeah, it's great because it was too crowded across the street from Blue Pit. But I just had a side of mac and cheese and a side of the coleslaw with vinegar, and both were super yummy.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
we
yeah.
were talking too much, so I couldn't stop and be like, "Whoa, these are super yummy." But they were. I took time to notice inside. But but like I could eat both of those things, like a lot of it. I didn't get a
You
pulled
like the sides.
anything.
Sides are important.
I mean, I could have gotten the pulled jackfruit, but I was really not feeling that. So
I wonder if Glenn got a meat.
Glenn did get a meat. Glenn got a chicken minus the bun.
Right on. Because,
Right on.
Yeah,
Right on. No buns.
Glenn's a good eater.
Yeah, he is.
Trying to be.
Glenn's been really good. But it was delicious, right, Glenn?
Yes.
That place. And also they have the designer soda, the Bolin
Yeah,
or whatever. which
Boylan.
I just love those.
Oh, and they have it in a dispenser.
I love those. It makes me
Walk
so
over and go.
happy.
Yeah, like
I got the cream soda.
I love cream
I
soda.
know, right? And I never drink it. It's like, ooh,
And
cream
root beer.
soda. I
Love
know.
root beer.
So I also last night, WYPR did one of their all the staff members bartend across Mount Vernon Marketplace, which
I heard this.
I think it's such an adorable way to do like
I
a
heard-
fundraiser.
Just heard Tom Hall on the radio talking about
They were
how
all
much of a
there,
time he had.
and they weren't doing that great of a job bartending, but they were there. So I went because my good friend Kyle, not our Kyle, but a different Kyle, works there. So I went to meet him, and we treated ourselves to burgers from Between Two Buns.
Right.
Speaking of buns, that place is good.
That place is really good.
It's good. Like So I know I'm really funny because I always come on the show and say, I don't need any meat. I don't need any meat. And then every time I talk, you hear about another burger I've had.
Yes,
so yes,
so-
I don't need any meat except for burgers, which I consider their own food group.
We're talking about Mount Vernon Marketplace, which is on Park Avenue in Mount Vernon, and it has about 10 different stalls in there. It's a food hall.
Yeah.
But kind of a charming one. I like Mount Vernon Marketplace.
I usually don't care for it that much, but I was there for the event, and I got a wine flight because, like I said, I like to have lots of options.
Wine flight, okay.
Wine flight. I had 2 reds, 2 whites. They were all pretty good. The bar there, I don't know if it has its own name or not, but they do canned wines.
It does.
And
It
they're
has,
they're actually drinkable. I don't even know what it's called in there.
because they opened up a version of itself in Philadelphia.
That bar?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
So, speaking of Philly,
Uh-huh.
oh, nice
Yeah.
segue, Richard. Thanks for that. I'm going on Sunday because it's the flower show.
Oh, the
which I
flower
like-
show in Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's like famous. I like to go every once in a while. But so I have to go to my favorite, Michael Solomonov's restaurants. I'm not doing Zahav. I've moved past Zahav because it's like this in Solomonov world, and then you can go down here and it's still incredible and better than anything you're ever gonna have.
How long did you have to make? Do you make reservations?
So for Zahav you have to, but I'm
Yeah.
not doing Zahav. There's like an entire street, Sansom, where he's got like 5 or 6 places.
Wow.
I know. So you just pop in. So Goldie for falafel, which is
Right.
like, oh my gosh. And then Dizengoff for hummus. And I'm just going to buy a bunch of hummuses and bring them home because there's a special hummus of the day all the time.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. They're
Wonder
the
if I
best.
should have you bring me some hummus.
I could bring you hummus. I could totally bring you hummus.
Yeah.
It'll be still good by Thursday?
Yeah, for
Okay, I'll bring you
refrigerator,
hummus.
sure.
I definitely do. I get to surprise you with the flavor?
Mhm, yeah.
You guys tell us now what your favorite Dizengoff hummuses are. 'Cause
Just
they're-
nothing sweet.
Oh, okay, yeah, because sometimes they'll do carrot, sometimes they do fennel,
Not carrot.
no carrot.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll find you a good hummus. Maybe I'll just get you the classic. All right, if you just got here, you are watching This Week in Baltimore Eating with Richard Gorelick. Like, share, comment, and follow us at #JMoreEating. Last week, Shelley Howell joined us.
That's right.
She wrote Dining Down Memory Lane, which is, I think, a book that every Baltimorean should have on their shelves because you got to know your history. You got to know our food culture. You got to know where we came from and where we're going and what we're missing. Is that a good plug?
Yeah.
Like, I really do like her book. But did you happen to hear any more feedback from anyone?
No, when we first talked about it a couple, like last month, people were excited about it. And
Yeah.
then not too much more this time about, again, it's called Dining Down Memory Lane. And it's a book that compiles both brief essays about the restaurants, but recipes.
Yes,
That's a big
recipes.
thing,
It's recipes from all of your favorite bygone places. So I'm gonna make Marduk's sweet potato soup. That's
and I'm
on
gonna
my
make
list.
Chestertown chicken from Louis.
That is fabulous. The two of us right there have an amazing fixings for a dinner party.
Yeah.
And
maybe
then
I'll
we
take
could even
photographs.
make, if we found a third friend, if we could do that, if there's a third friend out there anywhere, we could have them do the dessert
Ooh.
from like the wasn't there a baked Alaska?
Baked Alaska. There's strawberry cake from Hausner's.
Something.
That's too early for strawberries.
I can't eat strawberries anyway. But yeah, so pick up her book. She's a lot of fun. I love the recipes that are in there. So what's going on? Big news? Anything?
We heard they announced the semifinalists. This is the round of 20. That'll be narrowed down to 5 soon. Of the James Beard
Yay!
Awards.
Who is it? Who is it?
Well, for the 8th time, I think.
Or is this the 9th?
Maybe the 9th.
It might be the 9th. Anyone can guess? Can anyone guess? Anyone?
Chef Cindy
Anyone?
Wolf from Charleston.
Every
That's
time. All the time.
And almost always, Chef Cindy Wolf makes it to the finalist
Yes.
round. That's the round of 5. And then we don't know why, but she has yet to win the award itself. The only Baltimore-based chef to have won the best chef mid-Atlantic, I think there are 8 regions,
Yeah.
is Spike. Garrett.
Didn't Veltaggio didn't win anything?
No,
Oh, so just Spike.
just Spike.
Yeah, I remember him winning. She needs to win. It's her time now.
It's her time. And another Baltimore nomination in a category that I don't know if
It might sound.
a
It sounds
Baltimore restaurant has
newish.
been nominated. No, it's been around for a
Okay.
while. But I think we just never think of a Baltimore restaurant being considered for the best bar program. Clavel. Clavel Mezcaleria.
All those mezcal. I can't drink mezcal. There's no way.
No? How come?
I think it's way too much of a thing for me. I think it would knock me out. But maybe I need to try their drinks because they're making all their cocktails, right?
Right. Beyond the denomination is not just for their mezcal program, but for their entire program. So, and I've had good drinks at you know what?
They at Harlan.
No. Clavel, they have good non-alcoholic drinks.
They do?
I think they have the best roster of non-alcoholic drinks in Baltimore.
Okay. I can try some of those, but I do like the drinks at Harlan. They're not, they're also pretty strong, but they're not mezcal-based.
I'm going to come in next time with more information about that.
The program?
Yeah.
I would have not, if you were asking me if I was on the James Beard board, I would have totally nominated B&O Brasserie. And Brendan Dorr. I love the drinks there.
Mezcal is probably Brendan. Gosh, has done such a great job.
He's incredible.
Baltimore mixology. Mezcal is just probably more notable or original. Or
maybe they'll win. Do you think they'll win?
I'd love it if they won.
It'd be awesome. It'd be
Even
really
if they
fun.
made it to the finalist round.
It'd be really fun. What other?
So congratulations.
Yes. Yay, Cindy.
Wolf and Mezcal. Broadway Market will be opening. Do you have a date for that?
Do I have a date? I don't think I have a date. Soon. Is it
the
like
north
soon?
shed? There are two sheds.
Yes.
At Fells Point. I had to sort this all out. The north shed has been closed for a long time. That's the one that's reopening first. That's the one that's going to reopen with about 8 or 10 different stalls in it, a mix of old and new. The old members will be people that used to be have been operating in the south shed, especially the completely special place, Sophia's Place European Deli, which is people in the know that they can get unusual, like Polish delicacies there.
Like kielbasas and stuff?
And pierogi.
I love a good pierogi.
It's a great European deli, a real prize. So that's moving over to the new market. Some of the new places are to Harker Brothers Ice Cream, the Veranda, from...
No, I don't know the Veranda.
It's up, the original one is up in, on 36th Street on the Avenue, Indian food.
Oh!
She started at the markets. She was one of the market vendors that went bricks and mortar. And
now she's going back to market. Back to market.
No, I mean, she started at farmer's market.
Oh, even looser.
And Connie's Chicken and Waffles. So, don't have an opening date for Broadway Market. But we all have our eye on all the market renovations.
It's really good. It's a good thing. I think it's great for Fells Point. I think it's great for the city. I want all of our original markets to be renovated and popular. I've been having a thing for a while about the two new food halls, and that I'm kind of angry at them.
I never thought they marketed themselves as markets.
No, but I feel like that's what they replaced that, I feel like if we, instead of having Mount Vernon Marketplace, we could have just really invested in Lexington Market and been back there.
But they're different. One's
okay.
I
know.
I get what you're saying. It's but it feels like one was private developers and...
Yeah. No, it is. It's just... It's one of those arguments where you're do you support the
I hate to be like bougie and support
you're a little bit bougie.
And I'm like, the bourgeois needs their entertainment too. And
and the millennials and the hipsters.
Yeah,
you gotta have games. You always gotta have games to play,
right?
And you gotta have a good burger, good yummy burger,
good fried chicken sandwich. Speaking of which,
what?
the
you went somewhere.
Bird.
Yeah, didn't you just recently go somewhere for the first time? No. Oh.
No, but that you mentioned the BRD.
Yes.
Bird.
Yes.
I don't know how you say it.
Bird. I say it bird.
At our house is going to open up in a new building that's being built.
A new hipster millennial building. Just saying.
Don't use those words. They're meaningless.
What do you use? Bougie.
Self-described as bougie.
So it's opening across from Cross Street Market. Speaking of markets, and what about Bluebird Cocktail Room,
which I still haven't been to? Bluebird.
I liked it in there. They had a pretty good cocktail program.
Bluebird. Well, what's that on Hickory Street in?
Yeah, one of those side streets off of
real
the avenue.
successful. Like real kind of. Is it posh or
the
is it?
structure's weird because it's super loud in there, and you go into the bar. Maybe they changed it since I've been in there,
Right.
but when I went, you went into the bar and made your order, and then you got one of those little holders with the number, and then they came to you. But like, I don't know. I want just a full on service.
Right.
Why do I have to stop at the bar first? Like, just come to me.
Just come to me.
But the little apps I had in there were delicious. But it was just like really loud and distracting and kind of disorderly.
Well, in the lower level of the same building where the Bluebird cocktail room, they were operating a European style cafe called Little Bird, and
everyone in there.
And now they're saying enough. We need more room for the cocktail, for Bluebird cocktail room. So they shut down Little Bird, and they're going to expand their cocktail operations into the lower level, but it'll be slightly different.
Okay.
Say.
Well, that's cool. That's fun. Something to look for. Do you have any things that you want to talk about?
No, here's my goal. I really want to get to forage. That's my big goal.
I'll go with you if you wanted me to.
I do have I sort of have a.
Oh, you already have a standing date.
Mhm.
See, everyone just witnessed how I just got uninvited from.
She did, but no. Our plan is to
I'll go
to
myself
the
then.
Bygone. We're going to.
We are
Bygone.
going. Actually, I might be heading there on Saturday.
You see, I get blamed for a lot. I really do.
But it's my mom's birthday.
That's nice.
And we're not eating. We're just going to go to the bar because we think we'll start with that. We'll start with the bar situation there if we can even get in and get a nice table.
And Amy Langwer, I think, just had the burger at the Prime Rib Bar. The
Oh,
bar at the
really?
Prime Rib. Yeah,
I've
done that
actually
before.
never done that, but that's a
really
great
nice
idea.
evening to
Yeah.
maybe get your clothes out of dry cleaning and
yeah.
wash your face and go sit at the
Just
bar.
wash your face.
face.
I know.
And
I
go
have
sit
to
at the bar at
dress
the Prime Rib.
properly for Bygone. Huh. One note. Our newest kosher decanter post is up now. How about a nice Chianti Classico? So check that out at jmarliving.com. You have been watching This Week in Baltimore Eating with Richard Gorelick. For more food fun, sign up for This Week in Baltimore Eating newsletter at jmarliving.com/newsletters. We will see you next week.
Bye, everybody.